Hi, it's Mitz. Thank you so much for joining me today. So there was a request to talk about the row counter that I shared in a previous video. This is the row counter. And somebody asked how they would like to see how I use it. So if you are not sure what a row counter is, they come in different forms. There's this one that I purchased recently. There's also ones that you can kind of click. This one also is one that I received as a freebie, and you can kind of turn. You can see their numbers there. To my understanding, it's made in a way where you can put it onto the tip of your needle, your knitting needle, and have it that way. But because I use circular needles, I decided to go with this way. Of course, you can have it just by your side and have it as a row counter there. The reason why I chose this is because then I don't have to really let go while I'm knitting. I can just slip it to the next number, which I will explain later, but I don't have to let go of my knitting project and then, you know, change the row counter here. It's all really contained in this space, and also I don't have to worry about forgetting this piece somewhere else. This is all like one set and ready to go. So for socks and things, or it doesn't have to be socks, but in a pattern it might say repeat steps or repeat rows 1 to 5 more times, or it might even say things. I'm recently doing a shawl and it's asked me to repeat 14 times, things like that. Yeah, I think it would become it's very useful to have. You can also just do it traditionally with a pen and paper, but like I said, this is like a nice one set type of thing, so I don't have to have extra pen and paper. I don't have to have this, remember to bring this with me. It's just all ready to go. So in this instance, this row counter doesn't have all the numbers on each ring, but it does have the numbers for every odd number. So 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. And how I use it. So for example, I'm on row 9, and that's why you can see there that it once I started the row 9, I would knit 1 stitch and then pass it through the needle for row 9. So I know this is number 9. So let's count together. I think I have an extra, hopefully I have an extra needle in here. So hopefully you can see that. This one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. And that's why I'm on row 9. So I came to a really nice spot here. So I'm almost finished row 9, and I'm going to start. This is the start of number 10. So this is what happens with number 10. After 9, there is an empty spot, which is for 0 or 10. So let's knit up this the first stitch of row 10. And then with this needle, instead of just keeping it on row 9, I'm going to go to row 10, which is the next one. Make sure you don't go backwards to number 8 here, but you're going into the ring for number 10. And then you just do another set round of stitches. And then some people will take just a standard stitch marker and mark their every 10th row they will leave a mark on their stitch. and you can definitely do that. So I will come back and share with you what happens when I reach row 11, because the row counter only goes from 1 to 0, and I understand it might be a little bit confusing, and so let me knit this up. Somebody asked recently about if I can leave a link to where I purchased the stitch marker and the items in the Notions haul. The place, it's a marketplace, online marketplace, I guess you can say. It's called Minne, M-I-N-N-E. It's like Etsy, but only for Japan. And so I will leave the link. I will update it with the link, but I don't believe they ship overseas. Like I said, it's kind of like an Etsy, but for Japan residents only. I am just knitting the standard vanilla socks in DK weight, and I'm just knitting 2 fingering weights together to create the DK weight, and I'm using a 2.75, I think it is. 2.7, and this is in the 23 centimeter circulars, which I think is equivalent to the 9-inch circular needles. And I find that when I have to do just the garter stitch knitting, just the standard knitting over and over and over again, I find that I have better rhythm using these smaller circular needles instead of doing magic loop. I don't mind magic loop, but it's like you knit half and then you have to kind of flip it or slide it, and I just prefer to knit and keep going around and around. In the beginning I did have some difficulty with like cramping a little, not cramping, but just finding my groove and how to hold it, but once I was able to get familiar with it and comfortable with it, it's been a really nice knitting experience. Let me know down below if you are a 9-inch circular user and if you like them for sock knitting. Alright, so I'm getting really close to row number 11. I have 2 more to go in the 10th row. So like I said, the stitch marker starts 1 stitch after the new row. So this is actually technically a stitch for row 11. So I'm going to stitch that, or knit that, and then I'm going to pass my needle through the hole for 1, which is for the 11, and then I will show you what I do. So I'm going to pass that through to the next, so you can see there the needle is on number 1. And then I'm going to knit a couple more stitches and share with you how I indicate that it's on the 10s, so 10, 11, 12, 13, so on and so forth. Then if you need to do like 20, then I will show you again what to do. So this is on row 11, and to indicate that, I will use the stitch marker that this lovely creator attached along or included with this package, and you can use any stitch marker really, but it's so cute. It's this really pearly pink color, and I'm going to attach this on the one to indicate the 10s. So I'm on 11. So let's say for I finish up to 19, and then I need to do 20s, and I'm in my 20th round or 22nd round, then I will move this stitch marker to the 2, and that will indicate the 20s, and the 30s and 40s and so on and so forth. But yeah, it's such a cute little thing to have, and like I said, this is all contained in one set. I don't have to worry about bringing other items, or if I forget the row counter, I don't have to worry about, oh, I don't remember what row I was on, or there's nothing, I don't have to let go of my knit project. I can just swoop the ring over to the next knitting needle, and yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I believe these types of row counters have been around for quite some time, but somebody requested that I show how I use mine, and I thought it would be fun to share it with you. It's such a cute little kind of like an encouragement in a way. It's for me, I really like seeing this and hearing the kind of the jingle of it. So that was it for this quick video, sharing with you how I use the row counter. If you have any other row counters that you would like to recommend, please let me know. I'm already starting to think about purchasing another one, because I have multiple projects going on. Like I said, I have that shawl project where I had to repeat 14 times, like the same pattern 14 times, and I thought to myself, oh, I have the stitch mark, or not the stitch marker, I have the row counter on my socks, so now I'm just doing it to the traditional way with pen and paper. I think it would have been nice to have a row counter like this on the other project as well. So okay, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.